Hello, everybody. This is Lunch with Lisa, and it is so lovely to see you all here today. I have a wonderful topic for you. So, I received the following email from a client. She wrote, "So interesting how some days I feel gung ho about finding love, and then days like today, I wonder, is it all worth it? Is it worth this time and money? Like, do I really want a man in my life? I have a pretty decent, fun life as it is. Seems I may complicate things with a partner. Anyone else ever feel like this? Or is this just frenemy talk?" Well, that is what is called ambivalence. Here's someone who feels gung ho and excited some days, and then other days, she doesn't even know what she's doing this for. Why is she searching for love? Her life is pretty good. Does she really need a man? So, according to Susan Page, this is called ambivalence, as I said. And the problem with ambivalence is that people who are ambivalent say they want a relationship, but then they let one or more of the following things get in the way: not having to take risks, progressing in their career, hanging on to their great lifestyle, avoiding pain, and keeping secrets to themselves. So let's go over those again. Okay, according to Susan Page, the problem with ambivalence is that people who are ambivalent about love say they want a relationship, but then they let one or more of these things get in the way: not having to take risks, progressing in their career, hanging on to their great lifestyle, avoiding pain, and keeping secrets to themselves. So let's talk about this. What is ambivalence really about? Where does it come from? Why are we ambivalent? Ambivalence is the fear of making a choice and things possibly getting worse, or just the fear of the unknown. A lot of you have been hurt and disappointed, and you've worked hard to be happy and have a good life. And a part of you is afraid of rocking the boat. You have a false sense of safety and security, right? So let's just say that one Sunday you were walking your dog and you were seeing people having brunch, and they're talking and laughing and touching hands, and maybe they're even having brunch with another couple, and you are safe and single, and your love life is passing you by. So you're walking by and you feel safe and single. You don't have to take all these risks: the risk of possibly getting rejected, the risk of picking the wrong guy again, of going through more hell. We've all been there. We know how horrible bad relationships can be, how awful it is just to endure what we go through, and then to put our best selves on the line just to get our hearts broken, to get cheated on, to get rejected. Or maybe we're not putting our best self forward and we sabotage a potentially great opportunity without even knowing it. Relationships are hard. And if we've been through enough heartache and enough disappointment in ourselves or in the dating process or in relationships, it becomes even more difficult each time that happens to then pick ourselves up and put ourselves back out there again. And if you couple that with the knowing that most of us have never even been in a truly great relationship. We may have touched on it for a period of time, but then if you're single again, it's somehow slipped through your hands, right? Unless that person died or you really had a very mature parting of the ways. But most often when our relationships end, they end in heartache and disappointment. And so each time that happens, we go back out there, we have to put ourselves back out there, pump ourselves up. But it's hard, right? It's really hard to get back out there again. And every time we get disappointed, every time it doesn't work, it can also become more baggage that we carry into the next relationship and the next one. And sometimes it seems like all we're doing is accumulating baggage and not getting anywhere. And so what comes out of that is ambivalence. We want it, we want love, we want to keep going toward our dream and not give up. But at the same time, if you've never had evidence, right, of what's possible, we see so few couples who really have this. There are so few people out there who are in truly happy, stable, passionate, loving relationships. And more often, we watch other people's relationships fail, right? Not just our own, but we see so much evidence. If you look around at the divorce statistics, I mean, I talk about these all the time because it's just mind-blowing. So 50% of all first marriages fail. 67% of second marriages and 74% of third marriages fail. I mean, if you look at that, if you think about it, it's horrifying. All of those people went into those relationships, those marriages, thinking that this time they were going to get it right. And they didn't. And we see that, we witness that. So maybe you're not going to get married a second or third time, especially after you hear those statistics. But what comes out of that? Ambivalence. Is it really worth it? Should I put my heart on the line again? Do I even know what I'm doing? Can I prevent myself from making the same mistakes again? I mean, my God, that fear of going back out there and picking another bad person, another wounded, damaged person where you're acting out old stuff. You're yelling, you're screaming, you're arguing, you're hurting each other. A narcissist, an addict, or somebody who's just emotionally unavailable, where it feels like you're beating against a door that won't open. So we're ambivalent, many of us. We want it, but we don't even know exactly what it is we want. And we don't even know if it's possible, right? So many of us, we don't even know it's possible. So it's scary to allow yourself to want this because you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. And I am here to tell you that true love exists. It exists and it's available to everyone. Everyone. You just have to believe in it and then open your heart to receive it. And you have to learn how to give it, right? And here's one of the tricks with this. You have to give it before you can receive it. It actually works in reverse. So many people will go out into the dating world, and a huge mistake that they make is that they're waiting, right? They don't want to put themselves out there or let somebody know they like them, let a guy know, that they're into him. They're sitting back and they're waiting to see what they get, and then they're going to give love, right? Once they know it's safe, once they have the green light and they know, okay, this person's really into me, so now I can be into him. And it's actually the opposite. You have to learn how to first give love before you can receive love. So when I was dating, one of the things that became clear to me was I wanted unconditional love more than anything in the world. I had a very real experience that let me know that this is out there. It's real. It's available to everybody. And I wanted to find unconditional love. And I sat back and I said, well, how does one do that? Like, how do I attract a truly unconditionally loving relationship? And I thought, well, before I can expect somebody to love me and accept me unconditionally, I first have to be willing to do that for him. So I realized that I had to learn how to love and accept a man unconditionally before I could then ask him to do the same for me. And this was a real revelation for me because I had this list of things like everybody else that I thought I wanted and needed and deserved in a relationship. And I realized that so much of my dating and my experience of relating with men had been about me trying to get what I needed from a man, rather than learning how to give a man first what he needed and then sit back and see how he reciprocated with me. And so I realized I was going to have to flip this thing on its head, right? And it was really huge for me. This was a huge revelation in my life, and it really changed things because it shifted my entire orientation to dating. And I started to go on these dates, and instead of pulling out that list and checking off those boxes, right, like we all do, I decided that I was going to first sit and see. I would ask myself on every date, can I love and accept this man exactly the way he is? And if the answer was no, like there were things that I would really need to change about him, then he wasn't my guy. And this may sound wild to some of you because I know it's a pretty radical approach, but I would just sit across from these men, and I wound up going on 95 first dates. The 96th was the man that I've been married to for the last 19 years, or 17 years, 19 years together. And I would sit across from all of these men, and I would ask myself, Lisa, could you love and accept this man exactly the way he is? And then I'd sit back on the date and just observe, not critically, I was really looking for reasons to like these men. I was going on the dates, and I figured even if it wasn't my guy, I really needed to date. I needed the experience of sitting across from many different men and learning how to become comfortable with men. I was not comfortable with men. I don't know about anybody here who's listening today, but I was not comfortable with men. I was very uncomfortable. I'd have to have a drink, a cocktail, a couple of glasses of wine just to be able to go on a date and sit across from a man without turning into a nervous wreck. And I knew that I couldn't keep doing that. If I was going to have a truly healthy relationship with a man, I needed to start to understand men. So I went on dates, and I would sit across from these guys, and I would just, part of me was sitting there thinking, can I love and accept this man exactly the way he is? And part of me was sitting there just enjoying the opportunity, even if he wasn't someone I wanted to see again, enjoying the opportunity to connect with him, laugh with him, and just learn how to be more and more at ease with men in general. Because I knew that this was going to be important for when my guy, my hell yes, showed up. So I went on these dates, and I sat across from these men, and it took me 95 first dates to get my hell yes, but I did. And I met my husband, my future husband, on our first date. I looked into his eyes, And I just thought, my God, this is the kindest man I've ever met. And yeah, he just became more and more and more wonderful as I got to know him. And we've been together for all these years. I had no idea what this looked like. I had no idea. I knew it was possible. Too many spiritual traditions talk about love or unconditional love. Too many spiritual paths are leading us there. So I knew it was real. I knew it existed. I didn't know how to get there, but that was my North Star, unconditional love. And I share that because everyone can have this. This is what I show my clients how to do. I have an amazing 12-week coaching program. It's a group program and it's called Emotionally Naked Dating. Getting emotionally naked is the key to everything. That is the foundation of a real, lasting, loving, true, heartfelt connection with a man, right? That's how we connect. There's no games, there's no strategies, there's no he says this, you do this, he does that, you do this. You can't do this. You can't strategize your way to real love. You have to learn how to love. You have to learn how to open your heart. So many of you are ambivalent because you know that there is something deep and beautiful that you want, that you're longing for, but you're so afraid to allow yourself to really want it. So many women today are so guarded. They work, they have these masculine facades. They're so walled off and afraid. They're afraid to put themselves out there and open themselves up to a man because all they've ever felt, all they've ever gotten was hurt and pain and shame and rejection and disappointment. And so what they do is they work, they become extremely masculine, and they put up walls that no man can get through. And then they think, oh, I'm so wonderful, I'm all that in a bag of chips. They can get beautiful clothes. They can drive a fancy car just like a successful man can. They can provide for themselves, and they tell themselves, oh, I'm bringing so much to the table. I have so much to offer a man. And then they sit back and they wait for their man to appear. But the truth is, they are not offering a man what he would want from a quality woman in a romantic relationship. So even though they have all these accomplishments and they're not needy, they're not offering men what they really need. What a man needs from a woman is a loving, heartfelt, emotional connection. He's looking for a woman who is in her heart. You can wear the prettiest clothes, you can get Botox injections, you can look way younger than your years. But none of that matters if you can't get a man to open up his heart when he's with you. And the way a real woman does that is by opening her heart first to him. And I know that's scary, but men also have many, many challenges when they're dating. Men have to make the first move sexually. They have to impress us with their success, their job, their career. There's plenty of things that make a man nervous on a date. Trust me. He's working just as hard to impress you as you are to impress him, especially if he finds you incredibly attractive, right? So women have to learn how to open up their hearts and bring a man into his heart when he's with her on a date. If you don't learn how to do this, it doesn't matter how successful you are, how many beautiful, fabulous girlfriends you have, how many trips you've taken. None of those things are going to impress the right men. So why am I telling you all this, and what does it have to do with ambivalence? I'm telling you this because women who are ambivalent are afraid. They're afraid of making the same mistakes, of losing their hard-won independence. They're afraid of all these things that Susan Page said. They don't want to have to take risks. They've been burned and hurt in this part of their lives, and they don't want to take more risks because they're afraid they'll get hurt. They're afraid it might affect their career if they fall in love, if they actually get emotionally involved with a man. What if it's not the right guy and it pulls them off their career track, or the guy, doesn't bring anything to the table and she winds up supporting him financially? They want to hang on to their great lifestyle and their independence. They want to avoid pain. They want to keep secrets to themselves. Maybe she's cheated on a man before. Maybe she is really insecure, right? She gets to keep her secrets to herself. Maybe there are family secrets that she carries a lot of shame around, but she doesn't have to open up and really let a man get to know her and see her. She can keep hiding herself away. Those are the things that stop us. But underneath all of this is this fear that we can't have it, that we're not good enough, that we'll put ourselves out there and give it our all, and it won't happen. And if we just don't let ourselves want it, if we keep one foot in and one foot out, and we keep straddling that fence, then we won't get hurt. Because if we never really give it our all, we can always say, well, I never really tried. I did that. I told myself that lie for years. I told myself, I'll half-ass it. I'll just give it, 45%, 69%. Whoops, not a good number to use when we're talking about this stuff. Oh, old 69. Anyway, I digress. But, I did that. I did that a lot in my life. In fact, for many, many, many years, until I left my first husband, I would only ever give things enough effort, like I'd put some effort in, but then I'd quit. When things got tough, when they became too challenging. I did this in my career. I did it with friendships. I was so afraid to be all in on anything. And it was a reflection of my lack of self-confidence. And I did that when it came to love. So when I got on the path this last time, I told myself quitting wasn't an option. I was going all the way. I was going to face every fear, every challenge. I didn't care. I wanted to get to the other side of this, and I did. So, that ambivalence is fed by so many things. But I'm here to tell you that you can have it. You can have it all if you do the right work to get it. So my name is Lisa Shield. This is Lunch with Lisa, and I have a 12-week course called Emotionally Naked Dating. It is phenomenal. I don't have words to tell you the kind of transformation the women who go through my course experience. It is a revelation. And what's so beautiful is, as they go through my transformational journey to learn how to become emotionally naked with men and draw a man into their heart, this affects every aspect of this woman's life. It is miraculous. There aren't words to tell you. In fact, if you want, you can go to lisashield.com and look at my praise page, and you'll hear from these women what their experience was like going through my 12-week course. So it's better that you hear it from them. All I can tell you is if you really want to get past your ambivalence and you want to find lasting love for the rest of your life, like I have with my husband Benjamin for the last 19 years, go to lisashield.com. You will find the link there to watch my free 45-minute presentation. If you like what you hear, we can jump on a call. And I call these breakthrough calls, and they're breakthrough calls for a reason. We get real on those calls. We are going to look at how you are self-sabotaging and pushing away love without even knowing it. We're going to look at your ambivalence. Are you saying you want this, but then taking all these other actions that really support not wanting it? We're going to look at that too. We're going to uncover the real reasons why you're still single. We'll discover that on this call. How amazing would it be to find out the real truth, not all of these stories you've made up in your head, but really have a breakthrough in this area. That's what these calls are for. And if I think you're a good fit for the kind of work I do, I will talk to you about that on our call. I'm a love coach. I've been doing this for the last 19 years. So I don't just change women's lives. This is a radical, life-altering transformation that my women experience on those breakthrough calls and then by enrolling in my 12-week course. So if it sounds like something that appeals to you, please go to lisashield.com. Click the button to view my presentation and watch it to the end, because that's where you can sign up for your breakthrough call, but only sign up for a call if you're open to working with one of the top coaches in this field. So if that's you, then I would love to talk to you. This has been Lunch with Lisa. I do this every Monday at noon Mountain Time. So please come back and join us or join me again. I also have another Facebook Live that I do on Tuesday evenings at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. That one is called Live with Lisa. And believe it or not, I do a third one every Sunday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And that one is with my husband, Benjamin. We do it together. And that is called Getting Inside the Right Male Mind. So join me for any of my Facebook Lives. Go to lisashield.com and click the button to watch my free 45-minute presentation. And I will see you again next Monday. Have a beautiful rest of your day.